Fuck it, the first one was so bad. I'm doing another one. This is take two. An incoherent, rambling introductory tutorial on ezQuake HUD editing. Let's go. Okay, so I'll try to move along as quickly as possible. Um, I'll just start by CFG load some file name .cfg to reset my HUD. The first thing you should do, CFG save unchanged 1. That way you will write absolutely all variables, regardless of their default or not, default state or whatever you've changed it to your configuration file, so that when you CFG load some file name .cfg, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that you will not get the same fucking thing you had before you ended up in the woods, because editing stuff. Anyhow, relative positioning. Or no, wait. First, C-bars. You can HUD underscore tab and control page up, page down to quickly scroll as far back as the history goes. But as you see, it starts at keys. So if you wanted to know every variable that starts on A, you would have to add A and tab. And then you can scroll up and see all the A's or the B's, you know, but this is inefficient, so we have CVAR list. Ah, sick. Anyway, he'll probably call me something nasty now, so I'll have to restart. Anyway, oh god damn it. Where was I? We have CVAR list to search. For instance, if you wanted to know all the HUD variables that are relevant to frag, you could do HUD underscore wildcard or star frag star, and it would list anything that has HUD underscore something frag something, right? So basically, for computer literate people, you understand wildcards. This is okay. I don't need to cover this further. All right, so I tend to bind p HUD editor. What the fuck? So that I can hit P and go in and out of the HUD editor easily. And to hide the HUD editor help screen, press H. Quickly, F1 if you want to be able to move elements at all, F2 if you want to be able to resize any elements at all, F3 to be able to press Control and drag an item to lock it to another item or element or whatever, and F4. Yeah, that was what I just was talking about. And yeah, if you hit space, you hide the outlines. You want the outlines. The outlines are useful. So, okay, let's CFG load some file name.cfg. Get back to where we started. All right, so groups. We have groups. Groups are the things you want to tie stuff to by placing stuff on group, by control placing on, for instance, a group. Now I'm placing game clock on group 1. If you want to hide or know what you can do with group 1, you underscore HUD underscore group 1. And then you see you can center, let's say align, X, left, right. And then, oh yeah, bind O, HUD, recalculate. Also a useful thing. If you then hit O to recalculate the HUD, the entire group will be moved to the left. To repeat this example, but with a different thing, you can do right, hit the button you bound recalculate to, and it'll move to the right. This is relative positioning, and this is what you will want to do, rather than group 1 align Yeah, I'm just gonna set this back. Rather than having it center and using, let's say for instance, you can take the game clock and place it on screen, right? And then you can do HUD game clock pus y minus 400, no, not 400, 300, 200, and some 50. Like, this is how I was doing it before, right? I was tying everything to screen, and then I was moving it into place with pus. But when you do this and you change to, for let's say, a bigger monitor with a higher resolution, guess what? The game clock will not be where you put it. It will be more like this. It'll be like down here, because it doesn't take into account the different resolution. It only looks at this pus value and the vid con scale value. So if we set this to 1, right, then it'll just make everything tinier, and nothing is relative to the edges of the screen or whatever. Everything's just like tied to center. So don't do this. You do not want to do this. It is one hell of an extra job to have to do when you're finally happy with how your HUD looks, and then you change to a different monitor and like, ah, no, everything's different or same but not how I want it. So use relative positioning, either tied to relative to a group or relative to a thing, which then is aligned to a place, like for instance bottom center, right? I'll show you. Or no, I have already showed this. So use aligning to place something center, bottom, or top left, or top right, or whatever. Do not tie it to something and then shift it far to the left with minus 200 pus y. You just don't want to do that. That's bad practice. You will hate everything once you realize why you hate it, or it is bad, whatever. Ramble. Let's see. Oh yes. Let's CFG load some file name .cfg just to, like, this is, you want to do this, and once you've made multiple edits, make sure that you make some CFG2 and some CFG3 and 4 and 5 and 6 as you go, so that you can just jump back in time. You know, incremental backups. You want incremental backups. They are nice. Anyway, that shit aside, let's focus on face. HUD face. HUD face is currently tied to group 2. Group 2 is this box. But that's not super important in this example. I just want to refresh your memory that this face, all the values you see for face in my console is relative to group 2, this little box. So currently we can see that the pus xy is 0 and -1, very small numbers, only used to like make that pixel perfect positioning change thingamabob. But its alignment relative to its place, group 2, is center and bottom, right? And in the same way, for stuff like, let's say, health and armor, rather than centering it to face and using -x some value, which will change based on the total resolution and the scale value you're using, you can do HUD you can do HUD health align, and you see here the align, that is right, but that is more that's the text relative to the confinements of the health box. So when I drop in health, it will align to the right, you know. And the same way with armor, it's aligning to the left of the armor, the size of the armor box, so that numbers will go that way rather than disappear into the center here. And the same here, it'll go that way rather than going that way when the it goes from hundreds to tens. Anyway, besides the point I wanted to make, Here we see that HUD health align XY is before and center. Center Y is just to make it center within the confines of its box, which is nice. But before is interesting because before means before its place, and its place in this case is face, so it's before face, right? You can see here HUD health place and HUD health align with these values. And in the same way, we have HUD armor align, god damn it, is after and center, while HUD face anyway, yeah, you get it. So rather than using center and the group and nudging it towards the left or the right, just tie it to the thing, like place it on the thing you want it to be after or before. And another example would be HUD my HUD net stats, not net stats but just net show one. Now we see a little box popped up here. Its positioning is not ideal because of the frag messages ends up below here, but something I need to fix. In this case, rather than using after and before on the x-axis, I'm using the exact same thing on the y-axis, so that it'll be placed below. So you don't have above and below, you just have before and after on the y-axis. Same thing, right? It just it took me a while to realize this, so I guess I'm just throwing it out there to save you 5 minutes or whatever. I can show you a line. So it's after, below, and its place, HUDNet place, is group 9, which is my net graph group. Yep. So I think that about covers everything I said in my first attempt, just a lot more concise and less rambly, even though still rambly. Better. Improvement is improvement, you know. Oh yeah, another trick I would like to show, or it's not a trick, but yeah, it's useful to just be told this. Like, if you use a text editor and open up some file name, I guess easy. I need to go all the way back there. Okay. ezQuake CFG. There we go. I think this is it. Yes, Nanu. Oh no, Guinea. If you open up a text editor and just open up some. This is not where it is. Oh no, it's not. Configs. No, not Nanu. Some file name. You just open up some file name. Sorry for wasting a lot of time there. I thought I was already in the right directory. If you just go to the HUD section of the config file, which when you when you use CFG save unchanged 1, you get absolutely all the variables from this version of ezQuake chucked into your config, so you can go and check out all the things. Anyway, this is a very useful list of absolutely all of the HUD elements which can be changed. So rather than using the console to like search for a thing which might not be named what you think they would be named, you can just sit down here and have a good read and see what's possible. So yeah, I would do this. I would do this while you have like Quake running in a window or whatever, so that you can easily jump back and forth to see the things. I just had a I just remembered a thing which was also kind of useful, but I forgot again. What was it? What was it? Fucking hell. Anyway, I think this about covers it as good as it's gonna get. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm happy to help. Oh yes, I remember now. Yes, the thing you want to change, the one thing you want to change, and might save you like the whole hassle of selling your beautiful, large, wide, super wide screen. HUD Notify. As you can see, the notify box. You can just drag it. HUD Notify show 1 to enable it in new HUD, and then you can just move it wherever. You can have it like even dead fucking center of your crosshair, and this means that all your messages will be on top of your crosshair. Isn't it beautiful? Yep. So that's it. I'm done. I'm just gonna upload this and be happy. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Play quick. Good night. God damn it, I forgot to open OBS and be ready to hit stop recording, which I will do now. Boom!